Hey Boo Buddies, and welcome back to my channel. Anya here for some 2021 bullet journal setup and some good old-fashioned stationery play. I know a lot of you out there are starting all new journals, but I am still in the same journal, so I am just setting up my year and not a whole new journal yet. I still have half a journal left in this one, and I just don't feel good about starting a new journal and wasting all that paper. So I'm just going to start my goals page for the new year right on the back of December and just keep on going. I'm going to use a lot more stationery and craft supplies that I have with the rest of this notebook to kind of just experiment and go all out. So I went bold with some stickers and a metallic marker that normally I wouldn't use because I'd be afraid of it bleeding through, but you know what? We are gonna go bold this year. This first page, if you haven't already read the stickers, are my yearly goals. These are the action things that I am going to push myself to do this year. So these are all actionable things. None of these are things to obtain. These are just things I want to do during the year. Sometimes they're called resolutions, but I call them goals because they are not things I resolve, they are things I am going to do. And I separate them into a couple of categories. I do writing, and I do art, and I have my personal life, and I have my online life, and they are not all the same thing. But so I divide these up into categories to kind of keep it organized about what I want to do in each of those pillars of my life and my time, and it makes it easier to compress and also easier to see if something is starting to overtake life and whatnot. So that's what these boxes are. I'm going to use some flashy foil washi tape to make myself a nice little marker in this book so that I know where 2021 starts and 2020 leaves off. So a nice little doo-dah, da-da, da-da. When I set up a journal or the year with just spreads that are going to be referred back to throughout the year, I like to keep it really simple, but because we're going bold in 2021, I am stepping it up by using a bit more color. And normally I would just use some grayscale to mark out the titles versus the details, but I'm using some green because this is a green notebook and I wanted to use more green washi tape and some green accents, and I've already got the gold and the holographic stickers going on. I don't normally like to use letter stickers, but I got these in a subscription box, and so I'm going to use them. I don't really like to use them, I don't seek out letter stickers because there's always this like weirdness about as soon as you have to stop and pull each letter, like with a sticker or with a stamp, suddenly you forget how to spell, and it always happens. The greatest speller in the world, and they always screw up with stickers, and I always see that happen. So I don't normally do this for that reason, because I'm not a good speller even on the best of days, but I have them, so I'm going to use them and get them out of my space and have some fun in my journal. So I've got my goals and I've got my inventory goals. Now my inventory is it's very personal to me and for my specific goals that I've already started to set within my art projects and my writing projects for 2021. I need to build up some inventory and some merch stuff that needs to be done. So I've got my little inventory, which I'm doing in the style of a star chart. And I have a specific numerical goal for certain projects that will get filled out in my goals later off camera by myself, not for everybody. And so I'm going to have some stars to go with some of those categories as I build up those inventory sections throughout the year. So 20 of these, 10 of those, 7 of these, etc. If I do more than that, then I can add stars in later. Definitely want to start with that and fill in the stars as they get achieved. So inventory, yay! So next I'm going to do my master list for the year, which is part task list, part brain dump, part something, I don't know. So things that go on these lists are things like the books that I'm going to look for now when I'm in the used bookstore, the stationery that I want to obtain when it goes on sale, the household projects that I want to achieve. So it's part goals, part brain dump, part something. I don't even know what to call it. So when I was setting up these spreads, my eraser got a little away from me and I tore one of the pages. So I'm going to quickly fix that with using everyone's favorite brown and black craft paper. Of all the extra supplies to have for a bullet journal, I just feel like brown craft paper will always be in abundance because, you know, it's just you can just grab a paper bag or you can get the fancy craft paper stuff. This black craft paper I've had since middle school. Oh my gosh, don't tell. And it's just a nice way to add some color breakup, to add some texture, and also fix those little tears that we don't want anyone to know about. So yay, now tear is fixed, and I'm just gonna add some more to kind of balance out the spread and make it look on purpose instead of like I was trying to fix a tear. And look, no paper wasted, no pages wasted, yay! So if you are like me and you cannot get enough of journaling and bullet journaling planner videos on YouTube, then you'll notice that I am not doing as many spreads to set up my year as a lot of other people do. I do a lot of less spreads in my basic month and year setups. For a couple reasons. One, it's a planner and I try and keep it really simple to planner stuff. And then I do my journaling, thought, reflective stuff, usually in a separate notebook that is just for me and doesn't need to be shown to anybody or look pretty or be on video. But I don't like flipping. I don't like flipping back and forth between my current week and day to other spreads. So I'm really choosy about what goes into my annual plan for things that I'm actually going to be using. And when I need to flip back, I can, and it's all in one spot. But for the most part, I don't like to flip back into my journal when I don't need to. So I'm just going to finish up some black accents with my Tombow calligraphy pen because I found it in a drawer and it needs to be used. And then moving on, I have switched to this little LePen. I forget the brand. I'll link it below with the rest of the stuff. But I'm moving away from Micron fine liners because at the beginning of the year, I was like, I'm going to use my Microns, and I love my Microns, and I got a whole pack of them, and they all died before the end of the year, and I got another pack, and they all died before the end of the year, and they just wear out really fast, and I go through them so fast, so I'm using the LePen brand more. Because the felt holds its shape longer and it doesn't get as fine as some of the Microns, but I'm digging this. I don't have to press as hard, I don't have to work as hard. It's more consistent. I'm really happy with it. Oh my gosh. So I am putting in my cleaning schedule so that I will have I like to do 20 minutes of cleanup every day to kind of consistently keep on top of housework and whatnot. So I'm just going to keep a cleaning schedule that says, for my weekly cleanup things, not my daily cleanup things because that's daily stuff, but for my daily or my weekly things to have just like a one thing that I do on that day to just make sure that the bathrooms get cleaned at least once a week, if not more. And this is the only place that I've ever listed my week with the Monday first, and it's because Sunday is my day off. It's my day to work on planner and sit and drink mimosas and just recharge and read books and do that. And so it doesn't really fit to start my cleaning schedule that way. And that was really unique for how I set up my week, because I always like to start my week on Sunday and not on Monday. I'm just going to use my Phomemo thermal printer to make some stickers, and then spend way too much time with tiny scissors cutting them out to make a nice crisp line to add some accents for my house page, where I'm going to write all my home improvement projects that I want to do this year, and my books that I want to search for and obtain. I'm mostly a library only girl. I do buy books when they come to me. They come to me. But for the most part, I'm a library girl because I don't like books that take up too much space in my space. But there are books that I'm like, I need to own these books. They need to be in my space permanently. I need to reference them back. I need to loan them out. I need to read them 1,000 more times. So I need that list in my bullet journal that shows me which books I still need to look for when I am in the bookstore. It happens, and I need it to happen more. So I love having my Phomemo thermal printer to just do quick little accent stickers, because the paper is a different shade of white and it just pops and looks so scrapbooky in a very pleasant way for me. So that makes me happy. This next spread is kind of funny to me, because when I was daydreaming it up, like, this is what I want in my journal when I do this for the next year. I want to have this reference, and I was describing it to my friends, and I was like, I think I just reinvented a spreadsheet. And they're like, yeah, that's what a spreadsheet is. And I was like, okay, so I'm gonna make a spreadsheet, and it's just very, very Excel-esque. So this is my spreadsheet for all of my income. And I have not one source of income, but a few irons in the fire. And I needed one space where I could just keep track of what was going on each month. So yes, this is basically a old-fashioned ledger spreadsheet style setup. It's lovely and boring, and I don't care. So the hardest part was making sure that I got everything in the correct space and gave everything enough space to be there. So just the months going across, and then the categories of everything. And I tried to do little symbols for each category, and it worked in some places better than others. It's a little messy, but it's okay, because the only person who needs to be able to read it is me, and it's just numbers after that. And then, of course, I needed to add some more craft paper at the bottom to fix that tear at the bottom. We don't need to talk about it. I thought maybe I would add more washi tape and designs on the craft paper or whatnot, and maybe I will, but not during this setup. I think I'm going to leave that for maybe something if something comes up during the year and I'm inspired, or I get a fabulous sticker that needs to be added. But for now, it's just going to be nice and blank and clean. You can see that I went back to using the Micron fine liner for this spread, and that was actually part of where the messiness came in with the symbols and whatnot. Is this pen was pretty much worn out. The nib was mostly gone, and it took a lot of pressure to even get a mark, and then the marks would come out wrong or not as thick in some places, and just not and then thicker in others, and it was just a mess. So probably won't be buying more Micron fine liners in 2021. I had 12 categories going across for income to go with my 12 months, but I went ahead and used the full 2-page spread just in case something else comes up. Who knows? I might get sponsors or something else coming up in the new year, and I might need to add it. So, and it looks nice and clean that way. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, I just realized that I'm going to have to transfer this into my new bullet journal when the time comes, because I have half a notebook left, and so I can get maybe 6 months out of it. Oh my goodness. So that will be quite the nightmare when it happens. I'm looking forward to it. I'll have new pens by then, I'm sure. And then my last spread for my New Year setup is, of course, my year at a glance. So I'm going to use more black craft paper because I love it, and to just kind of give it a nice little pop. And I just tore one in half, and I'm going to stick it in the opposite corners of each other. And then I'm going to do 12 months all written out. I don't really use a future log per se, but I do like having my years and my days spelled out, so that when I do my monthly and my weekly setups, I can keep track of what day Sunday is. I got this cool little flower months thing in one of my subscription boxes last month, and it has all the months of the year along with the flower of the month, like birthstone, but I guess these are flowers that go with each month. And so I decided to use them for my headers, for my monthly headers, and keep the flowers and maybe learn something. But of course, I used black paper in a not so artistic way. So now I have to use white and black combo in places to write out the days. So that is a bit of a tedious thing. But suck it up, I don't have a stamp. I don't have any other way of doing it that appeals to me. So I'm just going to do it. And it is wonderful and tedious. Just switching back and forth between black and white and writing out all those tiny numbers. Cool. Phew, that was a lot. Now I just have to do that 11 more times. And December. Cool. So now let's just flip through real quick. I've got my goals and inventory list all nice and pretty and categorized. And then my master list ready to be filled out and achievable. Then my spreadsheet. Oh my goodness, that's going to be fun. And my year at a glance. I really had fun with this. I'm loving this notebook. I'm not ready to give it up just yet. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time, Boo Buddies.